Excel has a feature called Auto Calculate that allows us to quickly see worksheet totals simply by highlighting data. The question might arise, how much money did we make in the first quarter here? In sales, I'm highlighting these three cells right here. The status bar at the bottom of the screen might be showing us average. Also, we can see a sum or a count. There are other features we could see here as well, too. We made $560,000 first quarter. Second quarter, we made $1,040, actually $1,040,000. These are in thousands of dollars. So that's good information at our fingertips. We don't necessarily need to have this information on the screen in the form of totals, but we want to see this at the bottom of the screen when we select data. And off to the right, we've got a different kind of data set. I simply want to know what this organization is spending for compensation. I'll just click column P. Now that total is kind of difficult to read, isn't it? And here too, we're seeing average and count, but we can see more. If you right-click the status bar, you'll see 6 statistical measures right here. You can leave them all checked. I normally do, even though sometimes I don't care about this or that piece of information. But when we leave all these checked, you can see at the bottom of the screen how valuable those numbers could be. Now, notice that the numbers are difficult to read in some cases. The format that we have here could be any number of different formats, but when the numbers were formatted, the label itself was not. And usually we don't format the label, but why not? Let's format the entire column. Let's say nothing else will go in here except that text and additional entries or fewer entries. We could use the comma button. This is one of many different formats we might consider. This has no real impact on the text. Let's say we don't want to see the decimals. Let's just decrease them twice. But now when we click column P, we see at the bottom of the screen a more readable total. And we'll also see these additional features that we've now made available. We see the highest compensation amount, the lowest in here, a count of how many number cells we have versus a count of how many cells have data. That's the difference between these two numbers right here. So there's 742 cells that have data. That includes cell P1. 741 of them have numbers in them. And we see the average compensation amount, even though that's somewhat suspect numbers since it involves different kinds of status. But that's useful information. How many employees work here? Column N, here we'll have to actually subtract 1 here. Now there's no formatting going on here at all, so there's no numerical information here. And so we don't see a display at the bottom of the screen. But we do for column P, we do for column Q. We wouldn't care about the total job rating, but certainly the average would make some sense. In this case, it's almost 3. And so at different times for different reasons, this status bar is going to help us. The feature is called Auto Calculate. Remember, anytime you highlight 2 or more cells with values, you will get totals down there. And if you want to see them formatted, make sure the data that you're highlighting, including labels themselves sometimes, make sure they all have a numeric format that makes it valuable. Jumping back over here again, a reminder. We see the high, the low, the average, and the total. Auto calculates the feature. It's easy to use. Why not display all those numbers simply by right-clicking and making all those measures available all the time?